Welcome back, everyone, to our career mode series of NASCAR Heat 3. So at this point, we have ended the season, successfully winning the championship in the Extreme Dirt Tour. We are ready to move on to the Camping World Truck Series. So now we have come to the decision of, do we want to join a team or do we want to create our own? Now, for the purposes of this playthrough, right now, I am going to skip the Dirt Series for this particular season. I do want to go back to it and run a couple of races, particularly Eldora, in the future. But for right now, we're only going to focus on the trucks. And I mention that because if you're going through the career mode for the very first time, then I recommend you actually continue doing each series even after you've moved on to a higher series, simply because of all the money you can make as you do that. But for our purposes, we're going to focus just on the trucks. And that brings me to the screen where we have to decide, do we join a team or do we start a team? Now, we're going to be starting a team, but I can tell you that the one huge draw there is for me to join a team is the paint scheme. I feel like that is a huge element that is missing right now by starting your own team, because you're severely limited in really everything. The numbers you can choose. You're severely limited to the paint scheme overall that you can use, and it just feels very restrictive. I would love to see them give a lot more options. And of course, ultimately, it would be really great if you could import your own paint schemes and let the community take over that part of it. But doubt that's going to happen. But we really need expanded options in the paint booth that will rival some of the paint schemes that you're able to get by joining a team. I mean, joining a team just has a different feel to it. When you join a team, you are joining another organization, so you feel this sense of responsibility that you need to live up to your job or you're going to lose your job. When you start a team, you don't have to worry about that. You can do whatever you want to, finish dead last in every race if you want to, and it won't matter. So there's a different dynamic there, but for our purposes, we're going to start our own team. Let's see, so we want to be in control of our own destiny. Absolutely we do. There's a few things we need to figure out before we can start racing for our own team. We need to register a name and a logo, which will cost $2,000. Right, no big deal there. And we're going to stick with Black Storm. I don't know why we would change it now, but we certainly could. All right, now we need to look at sponsorships, and let's see what we got. So right now, I really want to choose the second option for Chevy. However, I just can't bring myself to do it. And so we're going to choose the Ford option. You see there's season length, 23 races. So we're going to earn quite a bit of money over the course of the year. So we're going to choose the Ford option. We need to buy a car. Of course we do. And we're going to start out, they all cost the same, $40,000. And let's see, that's 8 to 10 times more than what we were paying in the dirt car for the very first chassis, because I think it was $4,500, somewhere in that range. So we're going to pick a Speedway chassis just to get started. And we could pick a Super Speedway since Daytona will be first, but don't really want to do that because there's very few races using that. So the very first person we want to hire, it's almost as if they read my mind. We're going to hire Harriet because she has a 1 in engine. Not that that's a huge deal, but we might as well pick somebody who is already specializing in what we're interested in. All right, ready to start Black Storm Motorsports. This is our last chance. Absolutely. Let's keep going. All right, we need to paint our truck. So here we've got some different options. I think we'll just stick with the 99. I don't really have a preference over any of these. So the number field, we'll leave it white. We're going to use some fairly bright colors. This certainly isn't the best paint scheme in the world, but I think it'll get us started. And let's see, what can we do about these rims? Let's see what looks good, because that's one thing that I might want to change. The black actually doesn't look all that bad. Red is not terrible. All right, I think I like, well, unfortunately, there's no way to stop this thing from spinning. I kind of like the white there. Let's go with the white. And of course, you can always go back in and change these, so not a huge deal. All right, let's start working on our cars. Of course we want to start working on our cars, but he has skipped a step. We need to do some upgrades to both our chassis and or our employees, just depending on how things go. So let's try to hire a new employee first of all. And again, it's read my mind because Jerome specializes in suspension. So that's what we want. So we've got these two guys. We can't hire any more right now. We need to build or have some more chassis before we can do that. So let's go ahead and start our training. The most important person to train is going to be Harriet because she is on the engine. So let's see what kind of money we're looking at here to get her up to, say, 10. All right, only 16,000. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't want to spend too terribly much money on this because I don't know how much it's going to cost us to upgrade. But we'll go ahead and do the same thing for Jerome. Another 16,000. All right, now let's see. Oops, not purchase chassis. We want improve. And okay, 11,000 will get us up to an 80 on both engine and suspension. That's good. Let's go ahead and purchase that. And we're sort of going to inch our way up a little bit. We know that we're going to be terrible the first few races of the year. We already know that going in. But we're going to try our best. Let's see. It's going to get really expensive here. Yeah, 20,000 there. Let's actually back out. How much would it cost to improve the engine another 5? All right, 22 grand. Okay, we'll go with that. Let's go ahead and do that. That enables us plenty of room to upgrade her all the way to 15, but I doubt we're going to have enough money for that. And there you have it. We can get to 13 on the engine, and that's what we're going to do. I feel like that's our best use of our starting capital. So we end up with a Speedway chassis and a pretty good couple of employees to get going. And of course, we'll be expanding those as we move along. So our Speedway chassis, which is going to be mismatched when it's time for Daytona. All right, there we go. There's our 2 employees, and later on we'll be adding additional trucks and more employees. So right now, Daytona is sort of an afterthought for us because we don't have a chassis for it, but Atlanta and Vegas are where we're really going to hopefully have some money to spend because Daytona is a huge payout. All right, there you go. Bay number 1, 83, 70, and 80. So certainly not stellar equipment that we're going to have to start. All right, let's make sure I got this right. You'll be racing in the Camping World Truck Series while skipping the Extreme Dirt Tour. Yes, please. All right, so I've actually skipped a couple of the cutscene videos where they welcome us to the Truck Series and give us a brief introduction. Let's actually take a look at the season status because I want to show you the schedule real quick. Notice the purse for Daytona, $238,000. Now, if we're able to do well there, obviously we're going to get a bigger portion of that as opposed to Atlanta, which is only $50,000 for a purse. So about 1/4 of the amount, actually less than that. So a huge difference. And that's why it's a little bit sad that Daytona is first because it doesn't give us an opportunity to really do much with our car in order to be competitive. So what we're going to do in order to help this out a little bit is we're going to go down to hard level difficulty. So hopefully we'll be able to keep up with the pack and we won't have to worry about all of that. We're going to do a 25% race to get ourselves started. And I think everything else is good. Strict yellow. Let's see, what can we do here? I do want to do some 3-stage racing and longer races as we get into the year, but right now I think 25% is probably pretty good to get us started. All right, let's click on next race and incentive contract. So what do we want to do? 2 top 25s, 3 top 25s. Let's try for the 3. 4 is probably out of the question. 3 might be a bit of a stretch as well, but that's a pretty good payout. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. All right, everything is, I believe, taken care of. Let's head to Daytona. All right, folks, it is race time at Daytona, and we were every bit as slow as I thought we would be. We're starting either last or next to last, a full 2+ seconds off the lead. So, yeah, we are not going to be good, of course, with our mismatched chassis, we are even worse. We are mid-70s at best on our chassis. So we're going to start, actually it looks like we've moved up a few slots.
Hold your line.
So we're at 28th out of 32. So goal position, 25th place. And basically that'll be all up to the speed we have. If we can keep up with these guys in the draft, then maybe we can get a decent finish.
Hold your line. You got one inside. Hold your line.
Remember, we are on hard difficulty and not max difficulty right now. Looks like we got 25 laps in this particular race.
Stay up high here. Stay up high.
Only a single stage right now.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
A lot of lifting going on in front of us because I am running at about 3/4 throttle for a good portion of the lap. But for our purposes, we really can't go anywhere right now. I can't get to the bottom side. There's somebody already there. And he would appreciate it if I not come down and hit him.
Still there.
So right now, basically, we're running formation laps at speed. I actually thought I was clear there. And I was not.
Careful. Still there.
All right, so we're just going to hang out right here. It's pretty much all we can do right now. But yeah, I certainly thought I was clear to get down there, and that's why I tried to do it. Really wish that would have worked out. You can see the outside lane has never really been good in the NASCAR Heat games anyway, but you can see we're very fractured right now. No momentum, no tight draft. Everybody's really spread out.
Careful. Still there.
And yeah, we're running at about 3/4 throttle for a good portion of the lap. So at least we got enough to keep up with these guys. But it looks like we're headed straight to the back of the pack, though.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
All right, a little bit of momentum here, but we're going to quickly lose that because it looks like they're trying to get 3 wide, which means somebody's going to lift.
Still there.
We'll just bide our time riding around out here until we get an opportunity to get down.
Inside.
I don't want to lift off the throttle and try to fall to the back right yet, just in case we're able to get in ahead of a few of these cars. And also because I don't know how much acceleration we're going to have if I get out of the throttle to a significant degree, so we try not to do that.
Still there.
All right, let's go ahead and try to get our way down to the bottom now that we are
Hold your line. Stay up
here.
High. Stay high. Still there.
Now, let's see if we can move our way up.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
So 25 lap race, which is a pretty long race
Careful now. Still there.
for Daytona, especially if you don't have speed. It becomes,
Careful. Still there.
it can become very treacherous if you don't have the speed to keep up.
Top lane's free here. Use it if you need it. Top lane's free. All clear.
All right, let's see if we can get going here. Let's give Burton a shove. A little surprised Burton is this far back in the field. With the truck he's driving, I would have expected him to be much closer to the front. Again, spending a lot of time at partial throttle.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
But so far, so good. This has turned out to be a very good idea to put this on hard difficulty.
Still there.
Because it at least gives us a shot to have some fun.
Stay on the bottom here for me. Still there.
Because otherwise, I feel like we would probably be riding around on the track by ourselves for 25 laps, and that is no fun at all.
Stay high, stay high. Careful, still there. Bottom lane's clear. Use it if you need it.
All right, so now everything is starting to get stretched out a little bit.
Careful, still there. Careful, still there. Wow, that's fast. All right, clear outside.
Yeah, my spotter is easily impressed if he thinks that was a fast lap. He is way too easily impressed. I think he's mostly doing that just to try to keep me pumped up and make me think that we're doing good. But hey, as long as we're passing cars, I know we're doing good. And right now, we are just outside the top 20 and appear to be gaining on the cars in front of us. So far, so good on the speed side of things. Once we get a little bit more engine in the car, we won't have to worry about just using the hard difficulty. We'll be able to use the max difficulty. Alright, so every time one of these guys gives up the bottom for us, I am extremely happy and grateful. Thank you very much for moving out of the way and making my pass that much easier. So still using partial throttle, particularly in the corners. These guys are not getting through the corners all that well, and sometimes I'm backing off to about half throttle to keep from running them over. So I keep waiting until we reach the part of the draft where I have to keep my foot to the floor the entire way around just to keep up. And as of yet, we've not found it. We continue to chase down the trucks in front of us, and so far so good. We are now inside the top 20 comfortably. All right, a big run on 17th, so we'll have to back out of it there. I do not want to go to the high side if possible. Don't want to get hung out. Now we get closer to the front, I might try it. Alright, so Infinger and these guys in front are going to do a really good job of covering the inside. So they're going to force me to go to the high side if I want to try to get somewhere. But I would have to do so without any help, because there is nobody up there. We're going to try to pester Infinger a little bit here and see if we can't get him to do just that.
Still there.
So it looks like Austin Hill snookered Infinger a little bit there, going high, only to drop right back down to the bottom. Alright, so Hill, yep, he's coming right back to the bottom. Wow, that was an abrupt move. So everything really getting strung out now.
Need you to stay on the bottom right here. Still there. Alright, clear outside.
Alright, the Red Sea just continues to part for us as we move our way up through.
Top lane free here.
As long as they keep doing this, then there's no reason for me to leave the bottom, because they just keep making way for us. Not quite halfway through the race, so still plenty of time to get to the front if we can do so. And it's starting to look like we're going to be able to do so. Another one of those situations where I feel like the difficulty levels are mismatched. They have a lot bigger spread to them than they need to.
Clear high, bud.
Because right now on max difficulty, we would be riding around by ourselves, unable to keep up with even the back of the pack. Whereas right now, we are closing in on the top 10. And at this point, we still got speed to spare. Alright, now I see one truck out there on the outside. And I might be able to push him up through here. No, he's going to get right back to the bottom.
Still
It
there.
appears right as I am trying to get to him, so that is no good. That green and white truck, so...
Still there.
Alright, let's get back down to the bottom. I was excited about the prospect of getting to his back bumper and shoving him forward. Alright, so far, Curry is doing a good job of making sure I don't have anywhere to go underneath him unless I want to cross those double yellow lines. Fortunately, in this game, you don't have to worry about any penalties for doing that, but we're not going to be trying to do that to make up any positions unless we have to avoid a wreck or something. But just on our own to use it as another groove, we're not going to be doing that. Oh, all right, Curry's going to the outside. I'm glad to see him try it.
Need you to stay on the bottom right here. Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here. Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here. Clear all around.
All right, lap number 14, and we are sitting inside the top 15. So a very nice run so far. Looks like we started to get some too wide action up at the front of the pack.
Still there.
All right, let's take this 3 wide and see if we can't make up a couple of positions really quick. All right, not bad.
Stay on the
All
bottom
right,
here, Bobby.
Rhodes, is he
Hang
going to
tight
give me
there, driver.
room? No,
Hold
he
this
is
line
not.
here.
He shut the door on us.
Need you to stay on the bottom right here. Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here. Clear all around.
And once again, the C's parked.
Hang tight
Is
there,
he going to
driver.
try to go to
Hold
the
this line
outside?
here.
Looks like he's going to have no choice now.
All right, careful now. Still there.
Coughlin was giving me just enough
All right,
room
now you're clear.
to entice me to try it. But at this point,
Solid
still trying to be
10 laps.
very
10 laps.
patient.
Concentrate, Bobby.
Plenty of laps left. All right, now we're getting to the 2x2. Nice run on Coughlin. We'll take the
Hang tight there,
inside.
driver. Hold this line here.
Boy, this would be a heck of a way to get our very first truck
All right,
victory
clear
at
outside.
Daytona.
Stay on the bottom here, Bobby. Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here. Hang tight there, driver. Hold this
We
line
are
here.
hugging that double yellow line.
Still there.
Everything in me wants to get up.
Car outside.
Oh, look out. Had to really get out of the gas
Hang tight there,
for Johnny
driver.
Sauter
Hold this
there.
line
Oh,
here.
looks like they were getting out of the gas in front of us. And can we get to the inside of lines?
there?
Yes.
Hang tight there, driver.
All right,
Hold
here
this
we go.
line here.
This will move us up to third.
Clear all around. All right, clear high, bud.
Now, unfortunately, if I pull to the outside right now, the AI are not going to be fast enough to push us to the front. So we're going to see if the C's continue to park for us. Still having to lift off the throttle in the corners for these guys. So we still haven't run out of speed yet. All right, now we'll
Still
move
there.
up to second.
Clear all around.
So a lot of single file with some 2 wide and every once in a while a little bit of 3 wide, but for the most part it's getting really strung out.
Careful.
All right, so the
Still
question
there.
here is, do we have enough speed to actually complete this pass? Looks like Sauter's going to go to the outside, and that should
There,
be
on the
the
outside.
end of our attempt
Outside.
to take the lead. And yep, there comes Crafton right back by us.
Need you to stay on the bottom right here.
So we've got enough
Inside
speed
your
to stay in the
driver. Hold
draft,
this
but we
line
do
here.
not have enough speed to just pull out and pass for the lead.
Still there.
So that's going to make it really interesting to see what happens at the very end, because we're getting closer and closer to the end of this race.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here. Clear all around.
All right, so we're going to try to get a good run, get a good draft, pull to the inside. Now we just need somebody to go with us and push us right on by.
Stay low. Still there. All right, now you're clear.
I did not expect a victory to even be a remote possibility in this race whenever we got started, but now, hard to believe. All right, so at this point, if we just stick to the bottom, they're going to have to line up on the outside to get by us, which they've already done once. But
Time to go. Good
they would
job,
have to really get formed up to do it. Right now, they're running side by side. And inching in on me is John Hunter. But I don't know if he's got enough drafting help to actually get by me. Ooh, nice run there for John Hunter. We're going to pull back down to the bottom and let's see what he's got.
Hard on the outside. He's outside. All right, careful now. Still there.
All right, this is where we need that truck behind us to be right up on us.
Stay low. All right, careful now. Still there. All right, careful now. Still there. Still there.
All right, now he's going to get a big push from the 88. And we just need to hang right here till he gets a corner. Then we've got a shot at holding on.
Stay on the bottom here for me. Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
All right, so once again, this is the type of racing that we want. Finishing position doesn't matter near as much to me as the amount of fun I get to have during the race. And this has been a very clean race. I've tried to race the AI clean. They've given me room, a lot more room than they needed to a lot of times.
Still there. Got one outside now.
And there we go. John Hunter back in front of us.
All right, now you're clear.
All right, so once again, we're going to try to get a big run on him, draft right up to him, get to his inside,
Still there.
and hope we get some help when it gets to the corner. Only a few laps to go in the race, and I would prefer that we at least have a shot at the victory at the very end.
Careful, still there.
All right, nope, everybody's going to line up on the outside here.
Careful now, still there.
Okay, now we get a little bit of help.
Car lap, driver. Keep it going. Still
All right,
there.
2 more trips around.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line
Ooh,
here.
John Hunter trying to get down in front of me. I do not blame him for that.
Hang tight there, driver.
He
Hold
wanted
this
very
line.
badly to get down and block me since
Still
he didn't
there.
have any help. He ran out of help through the corners. All right, right, now he's going to get it on the straightaway, and this will, wow, they're going to just roll right past me. All right, so as long as we can clear this guy on the outside,
You got all the room you need.
okay,
Clear.
we're in good shape, because now that means we can get right up on John Hunter and draft with him.
All right, let's go. One lap. White flag is out.
All right, he's got some nice speed. Let's see if I can catch him and get a run down the back straightaway and at least pull even with him coming off of 4. All right, here we go. Oh, he's got too much speed. Am I going to be able to get there?
All right, careful now.
All right, we're here. He was pulling me quite nicely down the back straightaway once I pulled out. All right, we could use a push from behind. Are we going to get it is the question.
Still there.
And who won? We did. There we go. That was a close one. That was, again, very unexpected from me. I did not think we were going to be able to get up there. But now that we're on this particular screen, you can see the speed rating of 96. And that really highlights to me the issues they have with the difficulty settings. With a speed rating of 96 in our truck, there's no way we should even be contending for a top 10, much less a victory. Unless we turn down the difficulty to something like maybe, I'm not even sure normal would be at a 96 speed rating, but certainly not fast. All right, so we'll go ahead and continue on. So Claudius Magnifico is living up to the name. In his very first truck race, or at least in our very first truck season, we'll bring home the victory, and that means a huge payout for us. $238,000 plus our team payouts, and now we should start to see an increase in our merch payout. Now, right now, it looks like we're selling only 2 or 3 t-shirts, but there you have it. We have, in our very first race, secured our entry into the playoffs, and so now it's all gravy from here until the playoffs. We're going to focus on upgrading the car and hopefully have a contending truck once we get to the playoffs, which will definitely be played in max difficulty. Nothing like being in victory lane at Daytona. We even came away with the fastest lap. Hard to believe. But we're certainly going to take it, given the alternative that we had. All right, so this money is going to be put to good use. But that'll be in our next video. For now, thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we will continue our career mode series in NASCAR Heat 3.